Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with SBR contributor Jordan Sharp, and today we're going to be looking at how those odds have been looking at that game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinatti Bengals. How you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing good, Dax. Thanks, man.
All right, my man. So here's an interesting match. On one side, we got the 1-7 Jags, who are 30th worst offense, 25th worst defense, and they lost their most recent game against the Miami Dolphins in Jacksonville. And on the other side, we've got the 4-2-1 Bengals, who are the 16th best offense and the 30th worst defense in the league, and just barely beat the Ravens last week 24-27. Now, as for the odds, lines makers at pinnaclesports.com opened this one favoring the Bengals by 13.5 points. Now, since then, that line dropped to -11 and -11.5 as 5 Dimes has it right now. Now, I'm thinking that this line won't move much more than what we find it right now. But what's your take on this one, Jordan?
I think I agree with you. I don't think this line's going to move very much either way before Sunday's kickoff. It seems like, if we get news on AJ Green, then potentially, that we could see some line movement right now. But I believe he is back at practice and everything. So if he's set to play, then that I don't think that would have any adverse effect if everything does stay on track with that. But if he doesn't play, then that could definitely have some. So it could drop this line potentially below double, around back to 10, which is sitting at 11 points right now. But I think probably 11 points is probably where we're going to see this stick, considering that we've now heard for about the last 24 hours that AJ Green's pretty optimistic that he's going to come back this week. So, but on the other side of that, and I kind of talked about this in my teaser article as well, there's also potential of them saying Jacksonville Jaguars were playing. This is a recurring toe injury for AJ Green. Even though you're back at practice, we're just going to sit you out. We're just going to sit you out one more week. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think, Dax?
Yeah, I think that's totally going to be the factor. I mean, why would they even risk him? I mean, they're going to be playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I mean, it's not that they're. All right, I was going to say it's not that they're a bad team, but that kind of contradicts the whole point here because they are a bad team. But at least they do try. I mean, you can see that Gus Bradley is doing everything possible to make this team a more competitive team. There are a bunch of young players that want to, build up their careers in the NFL, and they want to actually do something for them, for the team. But again, it's Jacksonville, and then we've known this team for years that they haven't had anything going for them, all the way back since MJD. I think that right now with AJ Green in or out, it's not going to sway the lines much. It's too much of a line to put money on Cincinnati at 11 or 11.5. I'd even stay away from this game totally. I don't trust Cincinnati right now. I mean, Dalton right now hasn't proved me that he can actually manage the game properly. I mean, he did get a couple run touchdowns last week and all that, but if he doesn't have a good wide receiver like Green on the field, it's just a completely different game with him. And that defense also is atrocious. So it's just a conflicting type of game here. You never know what you're going to see off of Jacksonville. They got young kids and everything that they're aspiring to make names in the NFL. And then on the other side, you got the Bengals, who are pretty much leading the AFC right now. And I just don't see them being able to cover that big of a spread, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's probably a game that you might want to stay away from just because of that. And also something that should be noted. After this week, in Week 10, the Bengals and the Browns play in the Battle of Ohio on a short week on Thursday. So that may just be even more motivation for the Bengals to get to Sunday and be like, AJ, we're going to hold you out one more week. We'll bring you back on Thursday just because we got this.
Especially considering that the Browns are going to be with Josh Gordon by Week 10.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's a divisional game. The Bengals, despite their recent defensive, have beaten the Baltimore Ravens twice this season. So I mean, these divisional games are much more important than this Jacksonville Week 9 game. I think that they think that they can probably win it without AJ Green, even though I just think it's just, and because of that, with the the kind of shakiness that's going on there, you're probably right. You just need to lay off this game entirely.
Yep, I agree, my man. All right, Jordan, as always, it's a pleasure talking football with you, and I look forward to doing this again next week, man.
All right, thanks, Dax.
No problem. For SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.